Many years ago, in the village of Ubahudara, a land blessed with fertile soil and favored by the gods, the villagers were in high spirits as they looked forward to the celebration of the New Yam festival. They had just recorded a very beautiful harvest, larger than last year's own, and were getting ready to celebrate and offer their biggest yams to Njokuji, the god of yams. The people of Ubahudara were lovers of celebrations, and they were ready to host as much people from neighboring villages, both invited and uninvited. The much anticipated day came, and everyone gathered at the village square. There were different delicacies like abacha, nkwobi, uba, ukwa, ona, utarakpu, nrioka, ji, accompanied with jars and jars of palm wine. There was more than enough for the crowd to eat. The chief priest came and offered libations to Njokuji, and after the offering was accepted, Igwe Ubahudara came and cut a small chunk from the yams to eat. After that, the celebration was declared open to all. The Atilogu dancers came and performed to the amazement of the crowd. The maidens of the village also came and danced. This was the time when young men who were ready for marriage usually made their choices, because not only do the maidens of the village come out to dance, visiting maidens from neighboring villages also joined them to dance. Among these maidens dancing was one particular maiden who stood out. Her face seemed unfamiliar, so it was certain that she was not from Ubahudara. Her skin was so smooth that as the sun kissed it, it glistened. She danced in a unique way, with movements of the waists that were different from other maidens. All the men had their eyes on her and found her enchanting. After the festival, everyone started to leave for their houses, and soon the village square was empty. An old widow was struggling to make her way through the crowd, but she was finding it difficult. This unfamiliar maiden saw the old woman's struggle and walked up to her, requesting to help. She managed to help the old woman out of the square and escorted her to her house. On getting there, the old woman thanked her and asked her what her name was. The maiden replied, "My name is Adolisa." She wanted to go when the old woman called her back. "Please don't go. It's already very late. You can pass the night here and then leave tomorrow morning." Adolisa looked at the old woman and nodded. "Thank you, Nne." The next morning, Adolisa woke up and swept the old woman's compound. She asked for directions to the stream, and she went and filled up the water pots. She was clearing the fireplace of yesterday ash so as to put new firewood when the old woman woke up. The old woman was surprised to see the compound already swept. She saw Adolisa at the fireplace, and she went up to her. "Adolisa, you are up already." Adolisa greeted her. "Ututu ọma nne." "Ibolachi," the old woman said. "I see that you have swept the compound and filled the water pots. You have really done well, my daughter. May the gods bless you." Suddenly, the old woman started to cry. Adolisa was surprised and tried to console her. "Nne, what is it? Why are you crying? Did anybody offend you?" The old woman looked at her and said, "I just remembered that I have no daughter. I had no children before my husband died. And seeing all these things you did for me brought tears to my eyes. I wish I had a daughter." Adolisa then told her, "Don't be sad, Nne. Don't worry. I will be visiting you always. From now on, you can see me as your daughter." The old woman laughed and asked her, "Which village are you from?" Adolisa replied, "Umoi." The old woman said, "That's quite far from here." Adolisa went on to assist her and kept her company. Then later in the afternoon, she went back to her own village. On her way, she met two young men, and one of them stopped her and asked to speak with her. "Beautiful maiden, I saw you yesterday at the festival. My name is Lotanna. What is your name?" She replied, "Adolisa." "Wow, such a beautiful name for a beautiful maiden. I see you are in a hurry," he said. Adolisa told him, "Yes, I'm on my way to my village. I need to hurry along." Lotanna asked her, "I hope I will see you again." "If the gods wish," Adolisa said, and hurried off. Lotanna then told his friend, who had been watching them all along, that there was something special about this maiden and that he was going to win her affection. His friend Anayo wished him luck and they left. 4 market days later, Adolisa visited the old woman, who was very happy to see her. She quickly helped her with the house chores and set off for the stream to fetch water. While coming back, she heard a voice call her, "Adolisa." She turned and it was Lotanna. He offered to help her, but she declined. He then went on to tell her that he really liked her and would like to be friends with her. Adolisa said, "I am not from this village and I don't know you. I only came to help Nne." Lotanna told her that he was a nice person and she would soon get to know him. He begged Adolisa to accept his friendship requests and she said she would think about it. Adolisa stayed for some days with the old woman, helping her and keeping her company. The old woman too was kind to her and took her as a daughter. Lotanna continued to pester Adolisa, but she turned him down. His friend Anayo told him to forget about her because he was making the girl special. That is why she was becoming proud. Lotanna refused and told Anayo that Adolisa was special and she must be his. Anayo then told Lotanna that he had a perfect plan on how to get Adolisa to fall for him and even beg him to love her. Lotanna got curious and asked him how, but Anayo told him not to worry and to keep calm. On this particular day, Adolisa was on her way to fetch water for Nne from the stream. She was walking along the bush path when Anayo came out of the bush all of a sudden. He told her to please come and help him as Lotanna was convulsing and he needed help. Adolisa quickly followed Anayo into the direction of the bush Lotanna was. When they got there, Lotanna was not convulsing and Adolisa looked at Anayo in confusion. Anayo signaled to Lotanna to shoot his shots. Lotanna walked up to Adolisa and started to express how he felt to her. "Adolisa, I need you in my life, and my life would be in convulsion without you." Adolisa was pissed. "Is this why you came to call me? You tricked me to come here because of this. I have told you countless times that I don't keep male friends. It is against my values." Adolisa turned to leave, but was blocked by Anayo. "Where do you think you are going to?" Anayo asked. He pushed her towards Lotanna. "You are too proud. My friend has been asking you out, but you keep turning him down. Who do you think you are? It's either you agree now or you will regret it." At this point, Adolisa was starting to get scared. She begged Anayo to please let her go, but Anayo signaled to Lotanna, who was standing there looking at the whole drama. Anayo pushed Adolisa to the ground and told Lotanna to get to the act. Lotanna hesitated and told Anayo that he didn't know that this was the plan. Anayo tried to convince Lotanna, "This is your chance to get her. If you do this, she will have no choice than to agree for you. She will even beg you to marry her." Adolisa begged Lotanna to not do this evil. She cried and begged, but Lotanna seemed to be convinced by his friend as he tore Adolisa's clothes. Suddenly, a python started to crawl towards them. Anayo saw it and shouted to Lotanna, who quickly stood up, leaving Adolisa on the floor. Anayo and Lotanna took their cutlass and killed the snake, cutting it into pieces with their cutlass. After killing the snake, they turned to continue with Adolisa, only to find out that she wasn't there again. They looked at each other, shocked, and ran to look for her, thinking that she must not have gone far. They searched and searched, but they didn't see her. They only saw her water pots laying on the spots Anayo had approached her. They gave up their search and went home, praying that she doesn't report the incidents to anybody. Meanwhile, at home, the old woman was starting to get worried. It's been hours since Adolisa went to the stream to fetch water. She was supposed to be back by now. By evening, the old woman went out and started to ask people if they had seen Adolisa, the girl that usually came to visit her. Nobody seemed to have seen her or known where she was. The next day, the old woman continued her search, but it was futile as no trace of Adolisa was seen anywhere. She was very sad. What could have happened? Did Adolisa return to her village without telling me? But Adolisa was not like that. She would have informed me if she wanted to go anywhere. Gods of our land, please keep her safe. Ubahudarale, Areme. A woman ran out of her hut, shouting. A snake had just bitten her son. She ran out to seek for help. But before people could come to her aid, the snake was nowhere to be found, and the boy had died. Everyone was shocked. This was a strange occurrence, the first of its kind. The people of Ubahudara did not know what had befallen them, because 2 days later, the same incident happened, and would continue to happen. Anayo went to Lotanna's house that day to discuss with him about the strange happenings in their village. Those that had seen the snake said it looked black and shining, just like the one we killed at the bush that day. Lotanna looked around suspiciously before he asked Anayo, "Have you seen or heard anything about Adolisa since that day?" Anayo shook his head and said, "No, I haven't, but that is not important like the issue on ground. I am the only son of my mother and I can't imagine that snake. No, I need to leave this village. It's not safe here anymore." "So what do you want to do?" Lotanna asked him. "I will go to my maternal's village tomorrow. I think you should also consider leaving for your own safety," Anayo answered. Lotanna decided to see Anayo off, and on their way, the snake came out from nowhere and bit Anayo. Lotanna screamed and ran away as the snake vanished. That was how Anayo died that very day. The snake was killing the firstborn sons in the village, and the villagers started to panic. They did not want all their Diokpara to be eliminated. The king sent for the chief priest to seek for answers. When the chief priest came, he told the king that he has been warned to not interfere in this issue. Rather, he told the king to go to Umohi and seek the help of their priestess. The king sent some chiefs to Umohi, and when they got to the hut of the priestess, they greeted her and told her the reason they had come. The priestess looked at them and told them that they were very lucky they came on time. If not, Idemili would have wiped out their village. The chiefs were surprised and asked, "Great priestess, but we have not offended Idemili. Why is she angry with us?" The priestess answered, "You haven't offended her, but your sons have. They committed an abomination against the goddess. Her first daughter, Adolisa, visited your land and found a home with a kind old woman in the village. She was going to bring supernatural blessings to your land when two of your sons plotted to rape her. The goddess sent an AK to scare them off from the act, but instead they killed it. They killed a messenger of the great Idemili." The chiefs fell on their knees and started to beg the priestess, "Please, we are very sorry. We deserve all the punishment, but please have mercy on us. Intercede on our behalf. What can be done to salvage this situation?" The priestess looked at them. For the sake of the old woman she took as a mother, she has decided to withdraw her anger. But you must pacify the spirit of the AK. You will have to bury the AK in a grand style, with a coffin befitting of a king. Henceforth, on no account must any of your kinsmen kill an AK. It is a messenger of peace and doesn't harm anyone. One of the boys who committed the evil act is dead. The second one must bring sacrifice to appease the goddess Idemili, and his generation would have to be priestesses of the great Idemili. When you do all these things, your land will be free from her wrath." The chiefs returned to Ubahudara and reported to the king. They did all that has been instructed and held a grand burial for the AK with everyone wearing white. Lotanna went to Umohi for the sacrifice and the death stopped. His daughters and daughters after them became set apart as priestesses of Idemili. One night the old woman dreamt. She was sitting outside her hut when Adolisa came to her smiling. The old woman was happy and stood up to hug her, but she suddenly woke up. The next morning, she went outside her hut to find out that the compound has been swept and all the water pots were filled with water. The old woman looked up and smiled. "My daughter, you are finally back to me." The AK is a sacred animal in the Igbo land, the eastern part of Nigeria. It is a messenger of good news, peace, and favor. It is an abomination to kill such an animal that doesn't harm anyone. And when it is mistakenly killed by anyone, the person is told to bury the AK like a human being. The AK loves to dwell among humans, and its presence is always significant, especially when it wraps itself around a newborn baby. This is an intrinsic part of the Igbo culture and should be respected. Thank you for watching. What other stories about the AK do you know? Please share with us in the comment section. Subscribe to this YouTube channel for more stories. Like and share this video till I bring another story your way. Bye.